It already happened. Not a threat, not a warning, not a scenario. On February 28th, 2026, the United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury. Coordinated airstrikes on Iran. Nuclear sites, military infrastructure, leadership. Iran's supreme leader, killed. And within 24 hours, Iran did exactly what it promised it would do. It shut the Strait of HORMUZ. 20% of the world's entire oil supply, gone. Overnight, 150 ships anchored outside the strait, afraid to move. Tanker traffic dropped 70%, then to near zero. The International Energy Agency called it, and I'm quoting directly, the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. Oil hit $95 a barrel in hours. And the IEA released 400 million barrels from strategic reserves just to stop the bleeding. They called it a stopgap. Let that word sit for a second. Stopgap, meaning they know it is not a solution. Now here's the part no one is covering. This is not a crisis. This is a pattern. A four-stage pattern that has run without exception in every major monetary breakdown of the last 100 years. And buried inside that pattern right now is the most asymmetric trade setup of this decade. Silver. Stay with me. I'm going to show you exactly why. Step by step. With data that is live, breaking, and undeniable, here's how the pattern works every single time. Stage 1. A dominant power builds wealth on cheap energy and cheap credit. Everything looks fine. Debt piles up slowly. Nobody notices. Stage 2. The system gets stretched. Currency gets quietly debased. Gold and silver get suppressed. The structure is cracking, but it still functions. Stage 3. Something breaks the illusion. A war, an energy shock. A geopolitical rupture the market cannot absorb. Confidence collapses. Stage 4. Capital moves. Hard assets. Oil, gold, silver detonate upward. Silver moves last and hardest. This has happened in 1973, in 1979, in 2008. Different decades, different faces. Same mechanism, same outcome. And right now, today, we are sitting inside stage 3 of the most consequential version of this pattern in modern history. Let me prove it. Stage 1 is already done. The United States is carrying $36 trillion in national debt. Interest payments alone now exceed $1 trillion per year. The single largest line item in the entire federal budget, bigger than defense, bigger than Medicare. That is the setup. It has been building for decades. The foundation was already cracked before a single missile was fired. Stage 2 happened in front of us. Since 2008, the world's major central banks, the Fed, the ECB, the Bank of Japan, the PBOC, collectively expanded their balance sheets by over $25 trillion. $25 trillion, created from nothing. That is not stimulus. That is debasement on a scale that has no precedent in recorded history. And now, stage 3 is live. The Strait of HORMUZ is effectively closed. Iran has vowed not 1 liter of oil leaves the Middle East until the strikes stop. Qatar halted gas production entirely on March 2nd and declared force majeure on all gas contracts by March 4th. Maersk, CMA, CGM, Hapag-Lloyd. The biggest shipping companies on Earth have suspended all HORMUZ transits. Ships are rerouting around the entire continent of Africa. The Cape of Good Hope, adding weeks to every journey. Dubai's airport, one of the busiest in the world, took drone strikes and temporarily shut down. Citibank closed branches across the UAE as a precaution after Iran threatened Gulf banking interests. This is not a regional story. This is a global economic shock in real time. Quick note before we go further. Everything in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Before making any investment decision, please consult a qualified financial advisor. Drop a comment right now. Did you see this coming, or did the media keep you in the dark? Now let's talk about stage 4. Because this is where silver enters. Gold has already been moving. Central banks globally have been buying gold at the fastest pace in over 55 years. China, India, Turkey, Poland, all net buyers. Gold has made multiple new all-time highs. The institutional money, the sovereign money, it has already rotated. Silver has not made a sustained new all-time high. Not yet. This is exactly how the pattern runs every single time. Gold moves first. Silver moves second. But when silver moves, it moves with a velocity gold cannot match. In 1979 to 1980, gold tripled. Silver gained over 700% in the same window. In 2009 to 2011, gold roughly doubled. Silver went up over 450% from its bottom. And here is what makes this cycle different from every prior one. Silver is no longer just a monetary metal. It is the industrial backbone of the energy transition. One electric vehicle uses approximately 1 to 2 ounces of silver. 300 million EVs are projected by 2030. One solar panel uses approximately 20 grams of silver. The global solar build-out requires billions of panels. Every AI data center, every semiconductor fab, every edge computing deployment, and all of them silver intensive, all of them compounding demand year over year. And here is the number that changes everything. Annual industrial demand for silver now exceeds annual mining production. The market is already in structural deficit. Before you add a single ounce of investment demand, before a single investor panics, before the HORMUZ shock fully propagates through the financial system, the gold to silver ratio sits near 80 to 1 right now. The historical average is closer to 47 to 1. In prior monetary crises, it compressed to 30 to 1. A return to historical norms alone, with zero crisis premium, would more than double silver's purchasing power relative to gold. Add the HORMUZ shock, add the inflation spike, add the monetary credibility crisis that follows an oil embargo of this scale. The powder keg was already fully loaded. The fuse has been lit. Silver moves last. Silver moves hardest. The pattern has never broken. Now I want to address the three things you're going to hear from people who are about to get this badly wrong. Lie 1. This time is different. Economists Carmen Reinhart and Kenneth Rogoff studied 800 years of financial crises. Their conclusion was simple. Every single time a monetary system approached collapse, the people inside it believed their situation was unique, that the old rules did not apply every single time. They were wrong. The reserve currency argument? The British pound was the world's reserve currency for 2 centuries. Then it wasn't. The Fed will fix it? The Fed is not the solution to this pattern. The Fed is stage 2 of this pattern. This time is not different. The scale is different. The mechanism is identical. Lie 2? Technology will save us. Here is the irony. The technologies people cite as our salvation, EVs, solar, AI, are the single largest new source of silver demand in modern history. Technology is not the antidote to this pattern. In this cycle, technology is the accelerant. Lie 3. American exceptionalism will protect us. American exceptionalism is a cultural reality, real. American immunity to mathematics, not real. The U.S. runs a structural peacetime deficit of approximately $8 trillion annually. Interest on existing debt already exceeds $1 trillion a year. BRICS nations are actively reducing dollar dependency and trade settlement. You do not need to kill the dollar to trigger a monetary crisis. You only need to slightly reduce global demand for U.S. treasuries. At $36 trillion in outstanding debt, even a 0.5% yield increase adds $180 billion to annual interest costs. The pattern does not hate America. It does not even see America. It just runs. If this framework is giving you clarity that the financial media isn't, this channel is built for exactly that. Subscribe. Every new development gets broken down through this same lens in real time. The pattern is absolute. The mechanism is proven. The clock is not counting down anymore. It already went off. The Strait of HORMUZ is closed. The largest supply disruption in the history of the oil market is live right now. The 400 million barrels of emergency reserves are a stopgap. Their own word. Stage 4 is coming. It always does. Capital is already in motion. Gold has already moved. Silver is the last domino. And when that domino falls, it does not fall gently. The window to prepare is always narrower than it looks from the outside. Right now, silver is not front page news. The monetary angle is not being covered. The supply deficit is not being discussed. The gold to silver ratio is sitting near historic extremes. That is not a warning. That is a window. The question has never been whether the pattern resolves. The question is always only one thing. Where are you when it does? The pattern is absolute. The mechanism is proven. The clock has already started. Subscribe. Watch the next video. Share this with one person who needs to see it.